question for Kendra. And this is coming from a friend of mine, Rayshard Michael, on Facebook. He wrote a post saying because that guy got killed trying to preach Christ to that indigenous tribe doesn't mean God wasn't with him. All right. And I mean, the question is for anybody. And I can tell you some things that were said on there. I think it was a good discussion and he had me thinking. But what do you think, Kendra?
I just want to know, as Christian people, where do we draw the line when it comes to testing God's patience? You know what I mean? Like, there are clear warnings about certain things that we should and shouldn't do. And there was a clear warning from the Indian government that said, you got to be careful of these people because they are hostile, or at least they're again, traumatized. I won't use hostile. They're traumatized people. They've experienced, you know, some detriment because of outsiders, and they're not having it, and they haven't been having it for hundreds of years. So what would change now? You know what I mean? And I know before we mentioned, I don't want to change the subject, but I know there's been like a surgence of people doing things in the name of God, like the guy who was in the church with the rattlesnake and he was preaching and was hoping, you know, because God was with him, that he wasn't going to be attacked by this rattlesnake. And I'm like, why are we using, or why are people using God or God's protection as sort of like a magic trick? That's what it feels like. And I feel like this guy, I'm looking at it right now. My computer's right in front of me. I'm at my desk. And I'm looking at the article that you sent us, and it says, you know, that on his Instagram profile, he calls himself an outbound collective explorer and a snake bite survivor. He's an extremist, you know, and
he's an
adventurer. You know, he's an extremist. There's one thing about being adventurous. I'd say
I feel you.
I'm saying, but he's an extremist, like. And I don't want to sway the conversation to something else either, because I'm thinking also racially, you know. Whew, there's a lot going on, and I'm not going to take it there, but you know where I'm going with that whole thing. But as far as this whole entire thing goes, like two parts to it. From like an outside standpoint, you know, we have an American person going into a land where they've pretty much told you that you're not welcome. And then from the whole you know, the disease thing, I mean, I feel like these people have been around for a very long time as far as disease goes. They could have had the disease when it came to the tsunami that they experienced in India. They survived it. They've survived for a lot of things. So I don't necessarily think that we're a detriment in that way, because they're still here. But then, like, from a Christian standpoint, you know, our country kind of creates this savior complex, and Christianity, it perpetuates that, you know?
I started thinking about the verse where it says, like, dust yourself off if they throw you out. And it was Mark 6, verse 11. Let me try and find it. So Mark 6, verse 11 says, and if any place will not welcome you or listen to you, leave that place and shake the dust off your feet as a testimony against them.
Right there.
I don't think he followed that. Like, I think it's saying be out, like, you know what I mean? And in addition, they didn't just kill him automatically. They kicked him away, and he went back on the boat, went back to the fishermen, came back a few days later, and then they off him.